Hello everyone, welcome back to another manga chapter review. I am the Rat, and this is the Rat's Nest. I'm joined today by Kyle. Say hi, Kyle.
Hello, everyone.
We're back with One Piece. I love One Piece.
I love One Piece too.
I think we always say that at the beginning of the episodes. It's a good way to start it, I think.
It is. It's good positivity because
if we don't say it, we hated the chapter.
I wouldn't say that, but we have a pretty good chapter this week, wouldn't you say?
I would say that. I would say that 100%. Chapter 1063, The Only Family I've Got. It was kind of sad at points, kind of based at others, and kind of hot at others, I would say.
Well, we can get right into it with the continuing of the chapter cover story that's happening. We see that Pudding has been kidnapped, and what Brandon and I assume that means is Aokiji was there, froze everything, and stole Pudding because, and Brandon reminded me of this, apparently in the One Piece canon it's theorized that the tribes with 3 eyes can read the poneglyphs, and it'd be great if Blackbeard had someone who could read them, and if Aokiji were part of his crew, that'd be pretty neat.
Yeah, and I will talk about Blackbeard more later. But Blackbeard is very obviously hunting for the road poneglyphs, right? That's just established. He needs someone to read them, and it's been theorized that Aokiji is the Titanic captain for I don't know how long. So it's just I feel like this is just more and more proof towards that.
It's all building up to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing his thing. Let's get into the chapter proper.
Yeah.
They've eaten a lot. Our 3 heroes, Vegapunk, the small one that is huge, it's like all 4 of you have bulging bellies, and Shinpei's just like, hey, what I do to you? We get to see a little dog eating stuff. This Vegapunk, I will say that I said it last chapter. It's a very cute design, not in like a weird way. It's a very cute design
For the girl.
Yeah, Vegapunk.
Oh, that again, side tangent. You could say it's cute without being weird. I think it's a cute design too.
Mm-hmm. Also, from last chapter, it had Punk 06 on her dress, but Atlas was established as Punk 05 by CP0. Oda was like, yeah, no, that's a mistake. That's on me. It was supposed to be 05 on her dress. And also, Seraphim Kuma's, at the end, his hair was supposed to be white, like the other Seraphims.
Mm.
So those were mistakes acknowledged by Oda that caused a little bit of confusion. Oda can make mistakes. You know, what can I say?
Believe it or not, authors aren't perfect, and it's okay if they make mistakes from time to time. Mm-hmm. Especially if it's just small continuity, minor continuity errors like that. That's fine. No one's perfect. Yeah. Anyway.
And to see that Vegapunk going away, then people show up. People are in the town. Luffy gets some new trip, which I like. I think it's solid. I will say, I kind of wish maybe he had official pants, you know? It's kind of weird, the long coat into the big shoes, but it's strippy, so it's fine.
It looks good.
Uh-huh. And then Bonnie, Chopper, and Jinbei go in. Bonnie, mommy, am I right?
She has a really good design.
Yes, it's very good.
For this.
Godo was cooking. Godo was in the kitchen this past week, let me tell you.
And then Chopper's was cute, and then Jinbei just has the Hawaiian dad bod shirt
he just gets more and more dad every time. I will say, looking at it now, Chopper's is very similar to Luffy's, so maybe it's the male design versus the female design. I don't know. They're
hey, if we get Nami and Robin here later, I won't complain. I won't complain.
I won't complain either. I will say we were eating well with the Onigashima raid outfits. We were. The Onigashima raid outfits.
We were.
And it looks like we might be eating well with the Egghead outfits too.
Mm-hmm.
But here we get to see Kuma, the little police Kuma coming up. It's okay, well that's neat that all the work that went towards the Seraphims, went towards the Seraphims, the pacifistas, the original pacifistas. It's that's still getting used. That's cool.
Yeah. Even the police are dripped out on this island.
That's so true. And so they're chasing after him. And then Bonnie's like, uh-oh, that's not very good. And then Kuma, he's firing his laser. You get that reference, Kyle?
I unfortunately get the reference.
I'm firing my laser. That's so funny. Causes a huge explosion. They're like, Surely the damage he's causing worse than what we did because it gave them the food and it gave them the clothes, but apparently they were supposed to pay for it or something, and that's why the police is chasing him. Bonnie is not too happy to see a robotic version of her father, which is understandable. If a robotic version of my father was trying to kill me, I wouldn't be too happy either.
Yeah, and even then, in this moment, I think like she thinks that's like I don't think she knows about the whole pacifista thing. Like I think she thinks like that's my dad.
Yes.
Like this one it obviously it's not, but like she's
we
like
we know it's not, but she doesn't know that.
Yeah, and which leads to what I described to Brandon as like the iconic One Piece sad face of tears, snot, and drool, and like it's just drawn exactly like the others. It's the iconic one.
And it's very sad, please don't hurt my daddy. It's like, aw. It's sad. It's a little bit of a tear jerker. This is also
what it looked like beforehand, just in the little flashback right here.
Which, as someone on Twitter pointed out, that looks like the cloak from MADS, which is the scientific organization that like Vegapunk and I think Judge and Gaster D Gangster was a part of. So that's a neat little reveal. That like, oh, was Kuma a part of that? It could definitely not be. It could just be a coincidence, but it looks very close.
But if so, like it would make sense that it ties into the island of Vegapunk.
Then she goes, "That's my father." So this is why we think that Bonnie doesn't know that this is, what do you call it? This is just a robot. So Luffy's like, "You dummy, get out of there! It's just a pacifista." And on the page before, Bonnie goes, "That's my father." And that's whenever they realize, like, oh, Kuma's your dad. And then,
yeah,
please don't hurt my daddy. It's sad. And then big explosion.
One good thing to talk about here is, or at least something I want to bring up. Everyone makes fun of One Piece for being like way too goofy, and like I think that's good for its tone. I'm just amazed at the sudden tone shifts Oda can pull off and just feel so natural. Like at the beginning of this, like in the first couple of pages, we are like, aha, look like the funny like stuffed panels and like, oh yeah, the funny like the sexy drip, and then like 2 pages later, it's like, damn, just very sad watching her be like, that's my dad, please don't hurt him.
Godo was cooking. What can I say? Godo was cooking.
Yeah. And then that's the end of that section. And then we move on to a very can I preface this with the story?
Yes.
So a few days ago, whenever the leak came out, I was on Twitter and I saw a drawing of a trans law where it was like law but as gender a female. Gender bent.
Yeah,
sorry.
That's a better word for it.
Yeah, my bad. Like a gender bent law. And I sent that to Brandon. I was like, hey, I mean, like, I don't know why someone do this, but like, it's a very interesting piece of artwork. And Brandon's like, oh yeah, lol, that's so funny. And I read the chapter and I saw like, oh my god, like that was just a spoiler for the
specifically
chapter.
When Kyle showed it to me, I was like, dude, stop spoiling the newest chapter for me, dude. And he had no clue. It was good.
and when I saw that, when I first saw this page of the gender bent law, I was like, oh my gosh, like, did they get to Ivankov? Which ended up not being right, but that's just the funny story I wanted to preface this with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Law is hot. Like, we know that canonically now, that Law is hot.
Law has the potential to be hot.
Yes. We get to see Beppo in the back is also a girl.
Yeah, so in this section, Blackbeard is currently chasing down Law's submarine, which can we talk about? Can we use this as an opportunity to talk about all the stuff like we've seen the Twitter jokes of where Law's crew is not that useful?
Law's crew is quite not useful. The Penguin and what's the other name? Like Shachi or something?
Yeah, those 2 guys, Penguin and Shachi.
Yeah. Well, Sachi's already been turned into a woman, and then we get to see Penguin turned into one as well. Beppo. So those 2 theoretically have the best combat potential on Law's crew. We don't know for certain. Beppo is theoretically his second in command, and probably Beppo has a Sulong form, which could be very strong. We just don't know. I will say that one of the biggest thing that we see here, Devil Fruit powers can be countered if you use a great deal of hockey. That's big.
That is true, yeah.
To what degree, right? I would say that I don't think you could use hockey to force someone out of a Zoan transformation, right? But the question is, say So let's just say hypothetically, right? Going into it, you have Luffy versus Blackbeard, which is going to happen eventually. Blackbeard's devil fruit power, the dark fruit, right?
Mm-hmm.
He touches you, you can't use your devil fruit power. So he touches Luffy. Luffy becomes not rubber for the first time in the series, I might add, except for the very beginning. It'd be very interesting. It also takes him out of his Zoan form. Because, I assume whenever Luffy was fighting Blackbeard, he would be in his Gear 5. It would take him out of that. If Luffy used enough Haki, could he override Blackbeard's fruit ability and gain his Zoan form back? Despite being touched.
The first thing I thought of is, like, if Sugar touched someone, could they exert Haki or no? Because they'd be like a toy.
I would say theoretically yes. I think that this counts for whenever someone's devil fruit ability is acting on you. Which is interesting.
That's an interesting counter.
Because, like, so say the Ope no Mi, right? Law's fruit, the OP no Mi. It's incredibly good. If you have enough Haki, is it really that much of a threat?
But
say,
that depends on
it's
how much
the
is
question
how
of,
much.
Yeah. Like, if Room uses, if Law uses Room on you, takes your heart out, and you have enough Haki, do you get your heart back?
I don't think it works like that. I think it's ones, at least in terms of like these, like the sick fruit, which is one that we'll see. Like, if it's directly affecting you, if you like exert enough Haki, you can like force the devil fruit effects away. Like if the wax fruit were consuming you, trying to turn you into wax. Yeah. If you exerted enough Haki, you could just force off all of the wax. So that's at least how I see it. Like, I'm trying to think of a better example.
Knowing this, then, Big Mom did not have as strong Haki then as Law or Kid during their fight, because they beat Big Mom with their devil fruit ability, specifically Kid and his awakened magnetic pull, whatever.
Yeah, so
and that was affecting her. With this bit of knowledge, if Big Mom had enough Haki, she wouldn't have died.
Yeah,
you can't avoid Law's silence, right? Well, maybe you could if Law cast Room and you used enough Haki before he did anything to you. I think you'd be impervious to Room.
Which that means that, like, this recontextualizes a lot of the Big Mom fight with Law and Kid against her, because if she truly did have much more Haki than both of them, like this is a fact that Big Mom should know, like, to use Haki to override other people's devil fruit powers. So,
but also Big Mom is very reliant on her devil fruit powers.
That is true. I like the fight. I know a lot of people were disappointed.
Oh yeah, I liked it too.
I think the fight, like, the logic it worked out. It was I remember people saying it was a good old devil fruit fight, but now knowing this, maybe it was just more than that. Like, maybe they truly did have enough Haki.
Because it's confirmation that Big Mom did not have as much Haki as maybe other emperors did. Because Kaido is a very Haki-focused emperor. Obviously, he has his powers from his dragon transformation too. Shanks being the most Haki-focused. Obviously, because theoretically he doesn't have a devil fruit. We don't know.
Yeah, and then
Roger becoming Pirate King based on Haki, but devil fruits are still really good. And
they are.
Part of the reason Blackbeard became an emperor was because of his 2 devil fruits. We've seen Blackbeard use Haki exactly once, and it was against the Seraphims. Before that, we had no confirmation on Blackbeard's Haki. We still don't know how strong it is.
We'll just have to. I feel like it's not as strong because his devil fruits definitely more than make up for it. But yeah, I think. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. That's all I can really say. I feel like we've kind of dwelled on this point a lot. We know that there is a counter to certain devil fruit powers.
Yes. This is a very big revelation. So going through here, we get to see Doc Q as a sick fruit. That's how he was able to turn them into women. So yes, we get to see Doc Q. We also get to see Van Augur, however you want to say it. One, he has a little goatee, which is nice. He has the warp fruit, which is very good for a sniper. It lets you, I guess, if he touches you, he can transport you places, right? Which is good. He uses it to transport Jesus Burgess into where Law in them is, who has the buff fruit, which lets him lift a mountain. So he's kind of strong.
Kinda, yeah. No, he's very strong.
He's a little bit strong, you could say.
And so, Law having to fight off the Buff fruit, the Sick fruit, the Warp fruit, whoever else is there with like the Pegasus too, and then Blackbeard on top of that with the crew that can't really help him. Yeah, Law has it rough.
Mm-hmm. And we get the final spread here. Law looking based as always. We get to see Blackbeard riding in not just on top of Stronger, but also on top of Doc Q. Stronger, who ate a new mythical zone, the Pegasus fruit. Blackbeard as drippy as always. Did you have a question, Kyle?
Oh, I was gonna say, wasn't that in the Skypia, or was that something else?
Pegasus?
Yeah, remember the knight, the old man, how he had like the Pegasus, or I think it was a bird that ate like a horse fruit, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I'd have to look at it.
Okay, but yeah, so this is a new mythical zone.
Mythical zone. Yeah. When you kids in Straw Hat left Wano, I knew one of you would end up here. Big Mom and Kaido gone, the world's going to turn on its head. Sounds fun, doesn't it? Kaido had one, didn't he? Just how many road poneglyphs rubbing have you got to be taking them off your hands? Took the words right out of my mouth. Let's settle this. Winner takes all. We will then never see the conclusion of this fight. We will never see any of the fight other than the conclusion, and Law will have lost. I don't think Law will be dead, right? But Law will have lost. But
the sad thing is, this might be a moment where he loses the Opie no Mi. Maybe
it could. Or what would make more sense? Would it make more sense for Blackbeard to like take it and then give it to someone who would be willing to perform the immortality surgery at the cost of their life, or somehow try to force Law to do it himself?
I feel like he would ask Law first, and then when Law inevitably says no, he's like, all right, cool. I'll just give it to someone else who is willing to risk their life, and then just do it that way. Because, well, I mean, it's not a bad idea, but what you're explaining is like what Doflamingo did, where he's like, okay, Law, you have the fruit. Can you please do it for me? And then Law's like, no. So in this case, obviously, I don't think Law would be willing to, make him immortal. So best thing for him to do is just take it and give it to someone else.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that's the chapter.
Was a great chapter.
Kyle and I kind of talked about this already. I really feel like this chapter sets Blackbeard up as the main villain of either Egghead, if Egghead is like a Zoe type arc, whatever the next arc is. I really feel like Blackbeard's going to be the main villain of it.
I could see that being the case. Like we had okay, so for Blackbeard, we had the stuff with or on Amazon Lily that was on, like not too many chapters ago. And like the Seraphims, we know that some people are close to Egghead. And then, we saw Blackbeard now. I could see it being like, I think we've also mentioned this already. Egghead might be like a Zoe type chapter where it's relatively short and then Blackbeard, or like it all shows up, like CP0 and Blackbeard show up, but the main conflict turns into Blackbeard because, let's be honest, the Straw Hats should not struggle against CP0.
No, Luffy will can Rob Gucci.
he will can him. We'll fold him in 1,200
like an
pieces.
Omelet. Fold him like an omelet.
Yeah. So, as I said, unless they have like some crazy, powerful new members or something, it's like Blackbeard could easily show up and be the villain.
And also with him kidnapping Kobe and everything, I feel like, because we're in the race for the One Piece, right? You think of the 4 emperors right now. Luffy has 3 or 4 road poneglyphs, right? We're looking for the last one. We don't know where it is. Theoretically, Blackbeard or Shanks has it. Blackbeard is actively looking for the road poneglyphs. We don't know how many he has already, but he's looking for Kaido's right now, the one that Kaido has on Wano.
Which he's going to get from Law.
100%. And we also know that theoretically he's getting Pudding, who can read it. Right? And then Shanks...
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so hold on. They've already... I didn't mean to interrupt you, but... So yeah, they obviously got the one from like Big Mom's place that they just marched in and took over.
True, yeah. Yeah, they got the one from Big Mom's place whenever they took Pudding.
Yeah,
so who's going to stop them? Because Big Mom's dead at this point. Yeah, and so you could say Katakuri, but Katakuri and Oven were busy fighting each other from Caesar Clown's gas.
Yeah. There's Big Moms and Kaidos that Blackbeard will. Well, let's be honest. He's going to get the one from Law. There's no way that Law
100%.
does it.
So he has at least two, theoretically three.
And if not, we know that Luffy has another one that he's looking for, which is the other third. And then the last one, either he has to make a total of 4, including the one that he might get from Luffy. He won't, but might get. Or Shanks has it, and after Egghead, they're going to be like, oh, hey, Shanks' place. And then they're going to walk up to the island, and Blackbeard's just going to be holding Shanks by the neck, just killing him. Be like, oh, hey, I got the poneglyph. I killed your friend. And yeah, I'm going to go get the One Piece. See ya.
Yeah, because we are in the race for the One Piece right now. It's the One Piece saga. We're in the race for the One Piece. And Big Mom had one. So Kaido had one. Theoretically, Blackbeard will have both after he deals with Law. Luffy has the one from Zoe. Blackbeard has no way to get to Zoe. So his best bet is to just take it from Luffy, right? To take either a rubbing, or I assume they made a rubbing. I feel like if that's the case, then Blackbeard also has or knows where the last one is. Because then the fight between Luffy and Blackbeard is the fight between which pirate's going to claim the One Piece.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what this is going to boil down to. How does Shanks play into all this? I don't know. I couldn't tell you how Shanks plays in all this. Will Blackbeard kill him? I don't know. That'd be fun, I think. It'd be a neat little thing. Maybe Blackbeard knows that Shanks has it, and then that's the information he gives Luffy. He's like, it's with Shanks. And then Luffy goes and meets Shanks.
You cannot say to all the 2 Shanks fans out there that it'd be fun if after this long of the story, he shows the most he's done fighting-wise in canon was at Wano. And before that, it was Marineford, and then it was the backstory. We've seen him fight like 3 times.
Never seen him fight. We've never seen him fight.
Okay, never fight. We've seen him like block or do other stuff. We've seen him block or threaten.
Look, Kyle, I can say whatever I want to Shanks fans. They got like 2 chapters with him this year, bro. They are stuffed, bro. They're asleep. They're taking the Thanksgiving Day nap right now.
Who knows? Maybe we'll get Shanks for like 300 chapters, and then everyone.
I could also see Shanks not coming in because again, my thoughts on it is they're going to find the One Piece, then big final war with the government. I could see Shanks not coming in until then, but I do feel like Shanks will have something to do before they find the One Piece, right? Whether they have the big war before they find the One Piece or not, because Shanks in that chapter at the end of Wano told Ben, like, Ben, I think it's time that we go to claim it, the One Piece. Now I can't remember exactly the official wording, or the time to go claim it was one of the translations. I can't remember if that's official or one of the fan translations. I will be looking back at this after this. But Shanks is in it for the One Piece. He wants to go get the One Piece. Theoretically, at least, according to what he said to Ben. Now, he could also be holding on to it, waiting for Luffy to get it because of whatever reason, will of D, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I really feel like this is going to be the fight for the One Piece, like the final fight for the One Piece among the pirates. Who is truly worthy to be called the new king of pirates? Who is truly the strongest pirate? Has no equals. I feel like this is going to be that arc.
I could totally see that, because then after that, it'll be the Pirate King and his Straw Hat crew versus the government in a final battle that's going to put Marineford to shame. I can't wait.
It's very exciting. However this arc goes, Goda's been cooking. I'm really looking forward to it.
Goda has been cooking. Yeah, good. All in all, good chapter. Excited to see what happens next chapter. Hopefully, if I had to speculate, I hope that we get we get them explaining to Bonnie, like, hey, this isn't your dad, but this is it's late if you couldn't tell. This is a roboticized version of him called a pacifista, and we'll help you, like, well, Luffy's gonna be the type of person who's like, we'll help you get your real dad back.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not to do that.
Next chapter, we could get an update on like Zoro and them on the Sunny with Lilith.
Zoro Robin.
Yes. We could get an update on them. I genuinely don't think we're going to see the Blackbeard Law fight. If we do, hey, I'm all for it. I don't think it's going to happen though. I would
love to.
I think doing it, it's not a fight we 100% have to see. And I feel like part of the reason he took the month break was to like, okay, I'm done with Wano. Wano went on longer than I wanted it to. Let me condense the rest of the story so that I'm not working on One Piece for another 15 years. In Oda's dream world, I 100% believe he would show us every single detail of the Law Blackbeard fight. I don't think we're going to see it.
In Oda's dream world, we wouldn't even be in the new world yet. We'd still be...
I was going to say, we'd be at like Amazon Lily or something.
Like, I remember Oda, I think, don't quote me, I thought he said at one point, like, I have to have it end at some point, so I can't write as much as I want.
Yeah.
Which, I'm happy with that decision, because, my God, I would like to see the end of One Piece. I want
him.
I want to be there and say I was there before Wano's ending to see the finale of One Piece. And this has evolved much further than just a chapter review. All in all, good chapter.
All in all, good chapter. Any final words, Kyle?
Excited for next chapter. I'm excited to see where the stuff goes with Bonnie and wanting to find like Kuma, and I also really hope that we get a cut back to Zoro Robin.
So true. Anyway, if you're this far in the video, obviously it's something you like, so make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment telling us how correct all of our theories are. If you enjoyed this video, check out Goobers and Screens in the description. Goobers and Screens book club. Currently going through Hunter x Hunter. Going to be going through Bleach next. And then we have So I've Been Reading. And then this Tuesday or this Wednesday, we'll have a chapter review for Chainsaw Man chapter 107, which is going to be kind of insane. And then also probably Chainsaw Man anime episode 2 review, probably. And then the Sunday after that, a week from when this goes live, One Piece chapter 1064, I think it is. And we'll be seeing you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.